All right, Flames fans, welcome aboard. What a game we had to watch this evening. My name is Anand. I'm your Game Over Calgary host. Welcome aboard. If you're just tuning in, just getting everything set up, had to write down the final scorer because there was just one goal to talk about. So our game scoring summary will be short. We'll talk about another important conversation. We'll talk about the goaltending controversy. Maybe there is one. You can argue, agree to disagree. We can talk about the standings and the tank picture where we are right now. And we'll close it up maybe a little early today because we have nothing much to talk about. I know Conrad hit a few of the key notes of the or news of the day in his last podcast. I didn't get to watch the fully, but I tuned in for a bit. But the news of the day on Friday was that the Calgary Flames extended Craig Conroy and the general manager and the entire front office. So that was Don Maloney, Brad Pascal, and Dave Nonis. I'll weigh in my 2 cents on that. I'm very quiet. What about now, Matsy? Let me know. I see my level speaking into orange. Once again, I misplaced my microphone stand somewhere, so I'm holding it in my hands. Hopefully, now you can hear me. I've increased it to the yellow end. Let's see if I can improve something. Let me know if that's any better. Otherwise, I'll increase it a little bit more and close to peaking on the red on the microphone. So welcome aboard, everybody. Once again, the Flames lose this one by a score of 1-0. Yes, you heard that right. 1-0 the score. A few changes the Flames came into this game. It's a bit better. Alright, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna fix something here real quick. Uh, Alright, that's good. I'll keep it at the yellow mark. So Matt C, welcome aboard. And anybody else tuning in, hopefully we see KQ later on. Maybe we'll see Toka in number one. We'll see Danny Ma'am. Maybe Conrad, if you're watching as well, welcome aboard. But doing this solo for you guys. So once again, score summary. Just a 1-0 game. The shots were very little as well. I believe they ended up with 15 and 15 equal by the end of regulation. So the Flames could have come up with a win, but again in overtime their struggles continue. Shots at the end of the game comes to 17 and 15 for the Carolina Hurricanes. 6 in the first period for Carolina, 3 in the second period for Flames. Second period, the Flames outshot the Carolina Hurricanes 7-4 and then equal shots 5-5 in the third period. And Carolina Hurricanes gets only 2 shots in the overtime, which one of them becomes the game winner. That one is Nikolai Ehlers, who was a former Winnipeg Jets. Gets his 5th goal of the season, assisted by Walker and Taylor Hall. And the Hurricanes win this one by a score of 1-0. Talking about hard game to really discuss, other than Cooley being lights out again and Coronado hitting the post, nothing happened. Exactly, Matsy. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet, but we'll talk about a couple major points that I would like to discuss. So there were a few changes in. Hunt was in and Jake Bean was in. No Lomberg and no Braden Pahal. In talking about Lomberg, I mean, it didn't make a difference whether he was in or not. And no Braden Pahal either. So I think the defense pairing were maybe Kevin Ball and Addison had a bit of tough time tonight. But apart from that, nobody really gave up anything. Everybody would have been stayed at the 0 when you're looking at the plus and minus stats. One thing I noticed, the Flames gave up like 5 icings in a row or fifth icing, but had 0 shots in net. Slow starts, plus in their own zone for majority of the first period, which we have seen trouble lately. The Flames slow starts which I don't get why they can't maybe put 1 or 2 on the board early on, show that they're here for the effort. I know most fans want the tank rebuild or reset, and I know the Flames want to lose. But they end up losing this one by a score of 1-0 in overtime. How many coffees did you all have? I at least had one to stay awake during this game. It was already a sleepy, lazy Sunday for me, so I had to have at least one coffee. So the Flames had a slow start against Tampa, 4-1. They never recovered in that game. They had a slow start against a win against Florida, 5-3. They had a slow start in that one, but somehow end up managed coming back as well. And then at the end of this Carolina game, at least after 40, and even into overtime, they were 0-0. And Matt C pointing out, Kadri threw a great glove punch. Yeah, indeed, Kadri was great too. There were a couple missed calls, especially on Kadri. And I believe both power plays, I think there were only 2 power plays in total, which went 0-1 for both sides. 0-1 on both sides. 21 hits for the Flames, 18 for the Carolina Hurricanes. Shots we talked about. Carolina Hurricanes won most of the face-offs, 29 of them, 26 for the Flames. So one thing that they need to work on. The 3 stars in the building, it was Taylor Hall who got the assist on the goal on Nikolai Ehlers. Second star was Nikolai Ehlers himself. And first star was Brandon Bussey, who is now improved to 6-1-0 for the Carolina Hurricanes. Meanwhile, Devin Cooley goes to, I believe, I had his stats somewhere. Give me 1 second. Devin Cooley. I was looking at this because this will be our next point of conversation. He's now 3-1-0, something like that. 3-1-1 probably, because he lost against Minnesota. 3-1-1 is his record, or 3-2-1, his record this season. So that's where Devin Cooley is sitting at. We'll see if his points save percentage dipped at all. I don't believe so. He was stellar throughout. I believe he stopped 16 of 17. So that's where we end up this game. So that's your scoring summary. Once again, nothing much to talk about, but just a couple points. As Matt C pointed out, Cooley was lights out again. He has always been. I think that VR has helped him really a lot. They talked about it during the Sportsnet intermission time, that he uses VR to get his saves and get ready for a game. And then Coronado hitting the post, which was a close chance, could have led the Flames, but couldn't do so. And then nothing happened really otherwise, and then Kadri threw a glove punch. That's where we are for the scoring summary. And I see KQ in the chat as well. KQ, welcome aboard. Thanks for tuning in. Now let's talk about something to keep an eye out for. And do we have a goaltending controversy? You could say this as both ways as we transition into second period. Cooley with a .930 save percentage. Wolf with a .890 save percentage. Cooley has just given up 2.01 goals against average, and Wolf has given up 3.17 goals against average, leading into today's game. So this is not part of today's game. This is just the stats that was available on NHL.com prior to this game. And it is an interesting one to think about. Of course, you know, Dustin Wolf is our franchise goaltender. He'll be the one riding the net entire day long. But now Devin Cooley has led into an interesting conversation. He has played all his games excellently so far. And once again, like Matsy said, he has been lights out. Now, the way they go about in this game, I believe they can close it out with Devin Cooley on Tuesday against Nashville, give him that one more start. But then maybe you work your way back into Dustin Wolf on Thursday when they host the Minnesota Wild. I think that's how it should go, so at least for the time being. Does Devin Cooley become a trade chip when it comes to the trade deadline is also something to think about. We know our team up north needs a goaltender, but that is very less likely that will happen. I know Flames fans who wants a pick is worried that Devin Cooley will steal the show and there won't be an opportunity to get the top pick. But what Devin Cooley has done remarkably from the October timeline, so near preseason, he had that one really bad game. Both Devin Cooley and Ivan Prospetov had that one worst preseason game of their lifetimes. But the coaching staff decided to keep Devin Cooley because he knew how Devin Cooley would work with Dustin Wolf. And now look into November. Devin Cooley is putting his best numbers. Matsy saying Cooley is clearly the number one right now. Ride it for as long as it lasts. We'll see how long it lasts. Certainly, it's going to be an interesting conversation. Yeah, but it's remarkable how somebody's season can change within 1 month. And really kudos to Devin Cooley beating out all the wrong thoughts about him. He has shown that he should get starts and starts and starts. Like today itself, he saved brilliantly. Otherwise, this game wouldn't have gone into overtime. And with KQ putting the rabbit emoji in here, will chime in that Tito Cooley, his rabbit pet, has also some good luck power in Devin Cooley. And that's where some of the good luck charm comes in. So, yeah, it will be an interesting conversation heading into next month. Next month is like tomorrow, on Tuesday, December 1st, against December 2nd against Nashville Predators. Possibly we see Cooley again. But do you want to see Dustin Wolf again is the question. We'll find out. It's going to be an interesting one as we go through along. But I know media has been saying that Dustin Wolf is clearly the number one. Now I have my own thoughts. Devin Cooley has been stellar. I know Dustin Wolf has had some shaky games. That's because of his increased workload. It's when they started using him to the back-to-back, and then they had him start 18 games for the longest run. Now I think you can take a break on Dustin Wolf and give Devin Cooley the runway. Of course, once again, I'll say the rebuilding fans or the tanking fans maybe won't like this option because Devin Cooley is keeping the Flames in games. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Here's a question I'll get to now as well because it's going to be a quiet one. We'll talk about standings and the tank picture coming up soon. But KQ with a question, how's Beecher? Beecher had his first assist a couple of games ago. He has been really useful on the penalty kill. Of course, they killed one penalty today thanks to Beecher as well. Joel Farabee is also part of the penalty killing unit, which has been pleasantly surprised. So both of them working on the penalty kill, taking off the workload from Michael Backlund and Coleman. It's good to see. But John Beecher hasn't scored a goal yet. We are waiting still for that first milestone. But he has had an assist and solid on the penalty kill, which I believe one of the biggest roles they brought Beecher in for. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting look how Beecher looks, but I'll say that he has been solid on the penalty kill this season so far into the third or fourth game he has played for the Calgary Flames, but has one assist as a Flames in his belt. So that's a look at period number 2. We talked about how Devin Cooley might be the starter or the number 1 right now. But once again, you vary. Do you want to go back to Dustin Wolf just to give you that option of the higher pick, which I know everybody wants, myself included, because this is the one chance you can get. I know I heard recently that Gavin McKenna would love to be a Flame. So why not make it happen this season? But at the same time, I know the coaches, the management is looking for wins. They still have the playoffs in picture, which I'll talk about in just in a moment, which is an interesting scenario. And them getting 1 point tonight moves them to 22 points. We'll talk about that scenario in just moments time. So let's head to period number 3. We talked about the goaltending controversy. But before that, if you're liking my post-game talk so far, be sure to leave us a like, share and subscribe. Bring all your friends, always appreciate the chatter. KQ, Matsy, Conrad, if you're watching, hi to you, and whoever is tuning in. Go check out other network as well. We have Game Over Montreal, Andrew and Kay, and all does an amazing job there, and everybody. So go check them out. Give them support as you equally do. If you ever are bored and don't have a Flames game day, you can always check out our other networks on Game Over, the entire network. So KQ saying they'll go with Wolf the next one. You know, KQ, if I'm honest, we will, I'm gonna say let's go with Devin Cooley to end the road trip because of how the momentum has been going. Then if you want to switch it around, bring Dustin Wolf back at home, but it's the Flames. We don't get to decide. We'll find out. Tokai number 1 saying you guys do shots again. I'm guessing you want shorter clips of all these videos. We'll certainly work on that. I just have been busy like right after post games and during the week to spend some time, but certainly we'll keep an eye on that for you, and we'll do shots again so you can watch mini segments of our show. But really appreciate you tuning in. Tokai number 1, we'll keep that suggestion open. It's just because we have a lot of things going in the background. We can't get to every episode, do every shots, but we'll try our best, and we'll recap as much as games for you coming up. Alright, let's go into third period. So the standings, where they sit, I want to see if the NHL has updated the standings with the loss tonight in overtime. So yeah, they have updated the points. So the Calgary Flames still sit at 31st in the NHL league with 22 points. Now they are 2 ahead of Nashville Predators, who are sitting at bottom last with 20 points. And looking at the conference, let's look at the division. The Flames are now only, I guess I should look at the wild card to give you a picture. The Flames are only 5 points out of a wild card spot. The teams sitting in the wild card spots currently are Seattle Kraken first in the wild card spot with 28 points, and Chicago Blackhawks are sitting with 27 points in the second wildcard spot. Anybody saw the Chicago Blackhawks sit at the top and I think they're going to be a great wagon of a team. And they played a fun game against the Anaheim Ducks this evening, and they came up on top, scoring I think 4 unanswered goals. Connor Bedard with 2 goals. We'll see how Chicago Blackhawks does rest of the season. All tied at 27 points is Utah Mammoths, San Jose Sharks, Edmonton Oilers, and we are just 5 points behind them, which I think me and Conrad talked about at the beginning of November. Now that the November end has arrived, that November will be an easier schedule for them, kind of, sort of. And into this road trip, now they are 2-1-1. They have one more game on the road, which I think, and they have won like 4 games in the last 5 or something like that prior to this game. So you wonder if there is a mini turnaround for the Flames, but still a lot of ground to cover. The Flames have played more games than all of these Seattle Kraken, Chicago Blackhawks, Oilers, Utah. They all have played. Winnipeg Jets have 3 games in hand. They are at 26 points. So this could take a turn for the worse. This could take a turn for the brighter spot. We'll find out if they can do it. But honestly, I'll say Mission McKenna, get that one super elite talent piece. Then next year maybe you build on getting a Landon DuPont or somebody, and then compete for the playoffs when the time for Scotia Place is starting to build. Also, Pat Stamber just tweeting out saying Devin Cooley 128 seconds from his first career NHL shutout this afternoon. Ends up with stopping 16 on 17 shots in a one-time overtime loss. And he's now 3-2-2 in 10 appearances and 9.3 save percentage. KQ saying it's good for Team Tank, especially with the teams having games in hand. Flames have played 3 more than or 2 more at least than the Nashville Predators as well. So we'll see how that goes towards the end of the season. But I'm pretty sure, like I said, the biggest news that came out Friday, Craig Conroy was extended. He's keeping his same messaging that he wants to get younger. He wants to capitalize, prioritize prospects. On the other hand, we saw Don Maloney get interviewed, and he has taken a total different stance. He upset most of the fans, and their picture was the playoffs. So I guess there is a 50-50 right now. And we'll see how things turn out. Murray Edwards and Don Maloney will keep hopes that the playoffs is still achievable. And we'll see where it lands. Tokai number 1 saying, why is Nashville so bad? It makes no sense. Yeah, I know. I don't get why Nashville is so bad. I know they had a great first half of the season last season. They were, I think, aimed to be a playoff, Stanley Cup playoffs option. But somehow that doesn't happen. And they now sit at the very bottom of the league, which I find it puzzling myself, including you, Tokai. Let's take a look at the Nashville roster for a moment. I know they have some good players in there, but I wonder if they want a McKenna of their own. They have Michael Bunting, they have Philip Forsberg, Jonathan Marchessault, Steven Stamkos, Ozzy Weisselbat, Nicholas Haig, and still struggling. I just want to see what the stats look like. UC Saros at a .889 save percentage. Justice Anand with just .848 save percentage. That could explain it. Goaltending. The highest point scorer is only at 18, Ryan O'Reilly. Philip Forsberg right after 17 points. And let's see, Nicholas Haig, defenseman, just 4 points this season at a -7. So yeah, Nashville has its own struggles. The Flames coming around, similar to what we have seen from them last season. Their scoring struggles slightly improving. They won 5-3 against Florida Panthers. When they score 4 goals or more, usually it's a win. And you consider that. So I don't think the Flames are completely out of it, if I'm saying to be honest. But you'll have to look at this December. Talking about December, let's take a look at a bit of the schedule for the Flames coming up in December. Let's see how much of a gauntlet it will be. So the Flames are on the road against the Nashville Predators on December 2nd. So that's on Tuesday. That one, who will have the post-game show, I believe. Conrad is back on. Conrad is back on for the Predators. Then I'll be back on Thursday against the Minnesota Wild at home. Then we welcome the Utah Mammoth at home. They're missing Logan Cooley for the next 6 months, I heard. So that will be a big tough loss for them. Then we have Sabres at home, Red Wings at home. So a handful of next games at home. Then we have the LA Kings, we have the San Jose Sharks, we have the Seattle Kraken, Vegas Golden Knights. Oh, we have a fun Battle of Alberta coming up, two couple of games in a row. So the Flames are on the road against the Edmonton Oilers on December 23rd. And then on December 27th, they are at home. And then we close it off with Bruins, Philadelphia Flyers, to end the month of December and where the year ends. So I would say the toughest asks in the month of December will be, I could see a win against Nashville Predators, certainly. Hold on. Possibly against Minnesota Wild, we'll see. They know how to crush our dreams. Utah Mammoth could be a win, maybe not, we'll see. Sabres could be an easy win. Red Wings could be a win, but I know we have struggled past Red Wings at home. LA Kings will be a tough out. San Jose Sharks will be another tough out. Seattle Kraken could be a win. Golden Knights will be tough ones. Battle of Alberta, if we can win those 2 ones, I would be really happy, to be honest. Bruins could be a win. Flyers could be a win. And then we'll talk about January when it comes to later. Tokai number 1, Nashville Tuesday, that will probably decide who gets McKenna. Possibly. Does Nashville play a game in between tomorrow? Nashville, they don't play tomorrow. When would they last played? Nashville last played yesterday, so that's Saturday. And they won 4-3 against the Chicago Blackhawks. So they will have 3 days rest by the time we play them. So hopefully the most rested team can get some points out, and that will decide who gets McKenna. Certainly I could see that happening. And KQ following up with saying true. Alright, that's my lengthy discussion on the schedule, the standings and the tanking picture. Let's head to the final frame and go through the chats again. I know I've covered everything already, but let's run through that again. So you guys have a chance to respond one final time on the chat. Matsi, you're very quiet. I fixed my audio issues. Apologies for that. Hard game to really discuss other than Cooley being great, Coronato hitting the post, and nothing else happened. Kadri threw a great glove punch that was against Andre Miller. Cooley is the number one right now. Ride it long as it lasts. Yeah, I'll say they go against Cooley on Nashville against Tuesday, and then see how that goes. John Beecher has been solid on the penalty kill for the Flames. You guys do shots again. Tokai number one, correct me if that was the right concept you wanted. Shorter recaps of the games. We'll do that for you certainly. KQ saying it's good for Team Tank. Yeah, we'll see how the standings goes. Once again, Nashville game will be the ultimate important one to decide maybe who gets McKenna or not, and wherever the Flames set. All right, that's the chat line for tonight. Thanks so much for spending on this very boring Carolina Hurricanes game day. Once again, the Carolina Hurricanes win this by a score of 1-0 in an overtime goal from Nikola Ehlers, his fifth of the season, and assisted by Taylor Hall and Walker. That will do it for me. Thanks so much once again for spending the evening with us. Have yourself a great new week coming up. Conrad will be up next against the Nashville Predators, so look forward to that. And make sure to subscribe, share, like, send this video to all your friends, and bring them on for the next episode. We always love the chatter in the chat. Appreciate Tokai number one, KQ, and Matsi for hanging out. Have yourself a great week, great night, and we'll see you all again soon. This is Game Over Calgary with your host, Anand Unnithan.